Ron here, the Accidental Farmer. Income and expenses. We're going to go over what October's income and expenses were. This guy right here is not happy I'm holding him, so I'm going to put him back real quick. There we go. Anyways, I've never done this before, but being a new farmer, I wanted to go over my income and expenses for the month of October. Now, remember, month of October, I'm in New England. I'm a new farmer, so I don't know what I'm really doing here. So it's all trial and error. And excuse the birds, I have about 40 chickens off to my left here. So income and expenses. Two places we receive income from. One is egg sales, and the two is the farm stand. So those are the only two forms of income we have right now. So I want to touch base with those. I also want to touch base with some of the other almost fixed costs that we're going to be having on a monthly basis. So plan on doing this once a month so you can see our rise and fall, and hopefully in the spring, our new rise. So egg sales for the month of October were $343. We currently have 90 chickens, but only about 3 dozen of them or so are laying eggs at the moment. We have 40 off to my side that'll be ready in about 4 more weeks. And a couple of the other ones, I don't think they ever lay, but we can't figure out which ones they are. So 343. We sell a dozen of eggs for $5 a piece, half dozens at $3 a piece. That's why we have a little oddball number there. And also, most of our egg sales, I'm going to say 95% of our egg sales are pre-sales. People pay at the beginning of the month for the entire month. It's arranged what days they got to pick them up. We put them in a special cooler, and they're sold. So that's been great. That's money you can almost count on. And I know when these other chickens start laying eggs, it's going to be sold out every day also. So that's a plus. The expenses was their feed. Their feed for the month of October, $166. That was for all the chickens, even the ones not laying. So that brought up as a profit of $187. So that's great. If we could do that by 10, that would be awesome. So we can add some more dozens of eggs to that in another month or two. That would be great. The farm stand, the income expense from the farm stand. Now, we don't do pumpkins, we don't do squashers or things like that. We were just a basic tomatoes, peppers, type of garden, zucchini, squash, and things. So that by the time October comes, there's not really much left that goes in the farm stand. The only thing that went in the farm stand in the month of October, at the beginning of it, because we're in New England, was carrots. And carrots were the only thing that really sold in the farm stand, except for bundled wood and kindling wood. The kindling wood, it's all new pine it's the scraps from all the building we do around here. Eventually, I think that's going to tinker out because a lot of the buildings have been built that I can see. But the bundled wood we purchased from one of my sawmill guy, I've mentioned in other things, and we make a little bit of profit. It's more of a convenience thing, and people thinking and at least stopping by the farm stand. So veggies was $36. All we had was carrots for a week or so, and the wood we sold was $45. So total income was $81 the month of October. Expenses were only $15, so we profited $66. So that all sounds great so far. We got profit on both accounts, but not really. So we have goat and sheep. The goat and the sheep hay was $96 for the month of October. And the feed for them was $220 combined. So they're an expense of $316. There is no income at the moment from either one of these. In fact, the wool, I am just getting rid of it now. We're donating it to an art college, and they're going to use it for something there. I'm glad that someone can use it. I was hoping to have some hats or some gloves or mittens or something made out of them, but that's not a case. So $316 flat-out expense. Our other expense is we have the barn. The barn has its own electricity. Very fortunate in the town we live in, the little town of Merrimack here. We have our own light municipality, and our electric bill for that month was $28. So all the lights in the barn, $28. That's pretty cool. And the water for the barn, I had to kind of break this down because it's hooked up to the house water. So I'm going to say $125 for the month of October. Although that could be slightly higher. I didn't break it down. I couldn't really break it and separate from the house. That's going to change. Our well is ready to be put into service once the town gives us the big check mark and disconnects us from town water. So that will be, we'll still have an expense, but it's only a sewage expense, and that will be the house only. So that will save us a big expense. But those are big upfront costs for that. So that said and done, it's a long-term payback for the well and pump system. So our total income was $404 for the actually two income streams at the current moment. Our total expenses, including everything, was $650 on the nose. So drum roll, please. We lost $246 in the month of October. That being said and done, that sounds not bad, $250. But we don't factor in labor, feeding them, cleaning the stalls, anything like that. None of the labor sprinkled out 7 days a week have been accounted for. Nor does it include any of the structures, the maintenance, mending fences, fixing roosting poles, broken door, fencing I put up this month. None of those expenses, those hard expenses aren't factored into the monthly profit and loss. Fortunate enough for us at this moment, the next few months we're going to have very soft sales of income coming along, and then we start out, and when the garden starts next year, also looking into other income streams from the goats. The sheep, I don't know what's going to happen to the sheep. The sheep, everybody I talk to, they're great to have. They're cute to have. They're like having 4 additional dogs, but they live outside, and you just don't put food. You got to come out and feed them. I don't know if there's a long-term plan for the sheep. If not, they'll be sold. We're not for food, but we won't use them for food. We'll be using them for sale. The honey next year will be hopefully a great income stream. When you break down the honey, the sale of the honey, and with multiple beehives, the profit is tenfold compared to anything else here. Also, with 90 chickens and the majority of them laying eggs, we're looking for about 5 to 6 dozen a day. You're not going to break down the doors, but we're going to make an overall profit on the eggs. And other than making a profit on the eggs, breaking even's great, but we can actually fulfill the demands that people are asking us. Last week, someone just asked us for 6 dozen for a local place up the street. We couldn't fulfill their requests, so that was kind of sad. But hopefully that'll change in the future. We'll be able to fill those requests and have enough for ourselves. So in the sheep, the goats will be bred in January, February, March. 5 of our girls will be bred. They'll be bringing some more in. What are we going to do with them? What's the long-term plan? Is it using them for brush removal? Possibility. That sounds like it's a possibility. Is it bringing them to birthday parties? That sounds like it's a nice little chunk of change for an hour and a half's worth of actual, maybe 2 hours worth of work. So the ROI over the course of a spring, summer, fall, that could be do very well. So other than that, we're not looking at much. I believe the garden's going to be fourfold of what it was this year for size-wise, and hopefully profit-wise. So that's where we stand. So wrap it up one more time. We lost the total of $246. Is it earth-shaking? For some people, it's a nice dinner. For us, part of life now. So we're living and learning, and please join me. We'll be doing this monthly, and hopefully we're going to see this $246 number change.